Hello everyone, and welcome back finally to Star Trek Mercury, a Star Trek Adventures 2nd Edition game using the rules by Modiphius Entertainment. My name is ELH the Game Master, and joining me are four lovely individuals who we'll meet in just a moment. The only thing I have to say is that it has been literally a month since we've played last. No fault of anyone in particular, just schedule gods being schedule gods and being very fickle. If you've never encountered the scheduling gods, I don't know how, but please tell me your secrets. Just whatever you're doing, just let me know. But it's the holidays, and we're going to be playing as much as we can, but just be aware that, at least through the new year, we might be a little bit spotty across the channel, but it is what it is. But let's get everybody introduced so we can actually start playing. So, AdCon, anything you want to shout out, and who you playing?
Let's shout out to all the people last Thanksgiving who did not deep fry their turkeys. We all thank you for that. And I'll be playing Commander Kovat Paden, commanding officer of the U.S.S. Mercury.
Very good. Joggy Waga.
Hello. My name's Tegan. I will be playing your engineer, Jensar Ebsen, and often pilot. And for exciting things, I'm going to be one of the keepers at Cthulhu in a Castle in January this year. Or
Very
in
nice.
next year, I should say, January 2026. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Very nice. Forever GM.
Hello, I'm Forever. I'm going to be playing Lieutenant Commander Arthur Stafford, our resident science officer. Don't have much going on to shout out, but just want to say I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Very nice. And then last but not least, Logger, what do you got going on?
Hey there, Logger here, playing Lieutenant Commander Rad Ram, the security officer. Looking forward to the idea of more fighting tonight, so.
Yeah. And of course, we say that, and in Star Trek fashion, we'll just sidestep the combat completely. We'll find out together, but let's run that intro and then we'll get started.
Lawyer. The fight can be in the arena of the mind.
There you go. Social combat. There you go. All right, let's run the intro and then we'll get started. And welcome back. So is tradition on my channel when it comes to Star Trek Adventures. The players have the opening log, but if it's been a month and people have forgotten, that's okay, I can handle it. But Paden, do you have the opening log for us today?
Oh, God, give me a second. I don't think I do, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Again, I expected this. It's been a month. I'll explain. So we're actually going to hear this log from the perspective of Nyx, the anthropomorphic black hole entity that has become a staple of the Mercury because it just was a thing that I improv'd and it became a thing. But we hear Nyx narrating as she says, Nyx personal log supplemental. After a stay at Narendra Station, Starfleet Brass has put a temporary hold on further transwarp connection making as the eggheads at Daystrom pore over the data and alien ship fragments collected from the fight that never was. The species that apparently I don't know the real name of, but know that they eat my people or use them as power. It's not 100% clear. But what is clear is that in the meantime, as we're on hold from transwarp duty, is that the Mercury has been sent to make first contact with the Cariv, a species that apparently has been on Starfleet's radar for a while but just hasn't gotten around to making first contact with. I must say that I'm very eager to experience first contact, as, I mean, a lot of things are new to me, but I'm rambling at this point. End log. And what we see is the Mercury traveling at warp, and we zoom in to the conference room where you are being briefed by Nyx herself, because Nyx has kind of taken on the adjutant, or the what's the word I want? Not bosun.
Yeoman?
Yeoman, thank you. Has taken on the yeoman kind of role, just because I thought that was a good role for her to be in. But displaying on the main screen of the conference room is a picture of one of the Cariv. Now, the Cariv, if I can try to paint a picture, is that this is a tripedal species that looks like a living flower. So imagine something like a tiger lily that has been given arms, three legs, and is coming out of the flower itself is kind of this almost insectoid-like head, almost like a bee's maybe. So you've got that kind of antenna, you've got a proboscis, and Nyx is kind of pointing at it and goes, well, this is a Cariv. They have 4 different genders, which is very interesting to me. But my understanding is that all of them have a particular role in their society. There's 3 in particular that Starfleet's highlighted for us, and the picture zooms out, and the flower, there are 3 different versions of the character appear on the screen, and then they all change color and size. And Nyx points to the first one. This one here, Satrexi, I think it's called, is known as the bloom of the Cariv. They're, how to put it? They're I guess the best word would be librarian, where they're a record keeper, they're a patron of the arts, and Starfleet thinks that after listening into their communications, that Satrexi might be someone to look into. And then this next one, and she goes to the next figure. Satrexi, I should say, blue flower for Satrexi. The next one, Naturi having a red flower, is the flower of the Cariv. And my understanding is that they're kind of a mid-level government figure, where, you know, if this was Earth's history, roughly around 21st century, they would be like a legislator, like a senator or a councilman or something like that. So they're also someone we can contact. But if we want to go for gold, moving on to the third figure, Vixa. Vixa is, unironically, gold in color. Vixa is the root of the Cariv, and that doesn't need any translation. That means that she is, quite literally, the head of the Cariv. But it's also weird because it's not just governmental, but spiritual as well. Kind of a Bajoran thing going on there. But that's the briefing. Anybody have any questions? As Nyx looks around very eagerly.
Sorry, just taking some notes.
No, you're good. I'll even put it in Discord in case you need it again.
Nice.
Very good. Very good.
How recently did they become warp capable?
Well, that's the funny thing, sir, is that according to first contact procedures, they haven't made their first warp-capable jump, at least in ways we understand it. And that's probably why we got sent on this, because they didn't use traditional warp to get their ship, their test ship, out far enough for them to be flagged for first contact, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Interesting.
What methods did they employ?
Well, that's the thing, sir, is that as far as our sensors are able to determine, or at least the logs of the sensors, um, it's a big unknown. We literally do not know how they got from their planet to 3AU away.
So it's swarm capable and perhaps more FTL capable.
Something along that lines, yes.
Interesting.
But I do want to say thank you all for letting me play Adjutant and Yeoman. It's been really fun having a role on the ship. I just have one question, sir, if you don't mind me being a little bit impudent.
Go ahead.
What's my rank?
Officially, you technically have the rank of non-commissioned officer.
Okay, a non-com. Okay. What rank non-com?
Well, I believe you're listed officially as he pulls up his pad, takes a look. Crew member.
Crew member. I can dig it. Heck, I would have been happy
Okay.
being told I wasn't a non-com, but hey, I'm a non-com now. And, she has donned a Starfleet uniform over the past, several weeks. And as you watch, a little badge that symbolizes crewman first, second, third class, whatever, materializes on her collar.
No, might as well make it official. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir. Happy to be here.
What do we know about with the society? What we should probably have an idea of what we're walking into.
Well, that's the tricky part, sir. And Nix actually turns to Stafford and Ram. It's, at least to my understanding, looking at the briefings, they are a somewhat spiritual, but also somewhat conflict-adverse species. And she looks very particularly at a pad she's holding and says, Ram, would you care to look at these readings?
Certainly.
And Ram, first roll that we've had in a while, if you could give me an insight and security at a difficulty of 0. And let me check your focuses since it's been a hot minute. You would have a focus here.
Okay, which one?
A lot. You have infiltration, you have security systems, you have Starfleet Protocol.
I was thinking Starfleet Protocol was probably...
Yeah.
Okay, let me go ahead and roll this here.
Okay,
Oof.
well, that's auspicious. So the good news, difficulty 0, you still pass, you just don't get any momentum. Now, Ram, I'm going to let you flavor this in character how you want, but out of character, are you familiar with the process of plant grafting?
Roughly, I've heard the term but never done it.
Okay, well, the easiest way I can think to describe it, because my mother has done it a bunch of times to trees in my backyard, is basically what you do is there's a certain way to cut a plant in such a way you can take it to another plant and literally graft it to like a limb or graft it to a branch, and that cutting will actually grow from the existing tree or the existing plant, if that makes sense.
It's literally splicing.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, there are fruit trees that will have 2 different types of fruit because they've spliced on this other part. You can turn a tree into an artificial chimera. It's really cool.
Yeah, love it. But the reason I bring it up is because apparently the way conflicts are settled within the Cariv society is that if no clear understanding can come between 2 Cariv, what ends up happening is they graft or splice. We'll use splice because I think splice is a little bit more evocative as a term. They literally splice parts of themselves onto the other body. So by splicing another person that they're having conflict with, they gain understanding, if you see what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Fascinating.
I was going to... Something about the description that you were giving earlier struck me as well. Thinking of the root being the head of their government. Almost feels like we're going to have to be careful about idioms. Seems like their society may have a almost reverse perspective.
That makes sense. Well, to
Caution
be on
is.
full tip. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, caution would obviously need to take precedent here. No cutting to the point and stuff like that.
Hmm. Let's try to avoid language that's evocative of, I guess, violence to plant life. Hmm.
I'm
Well noted.
spending 2 threat that out of nowhere, one of the plants in the briefing room falls over. Nix didn't do it. Nobody else did it. Just literally a plant falls over because it's funny.
Oh, that's my third plant.
Grafting also gets used a bit in bonsai as well. Certain types. That's often how repairs can come into play in some of the shaping, as well as just really, really brutal cutbacks.
I recall this being used as a method of not so much the grafting of physical material, but the grafting of memories from one person to another was a method of early conflict resolution in Beta Z culture.
Interesting. I really should have data on top of my Betazoid cultural studies back in the academy.
Hmm. Or perhaps I believe that's what I remember from my academy days. One thing I do want to ask: what is their animal life on their home world?
That is
Is
a
there any
question for
comparison?
Stafford.
Yeah, my main concern is if there's some sort of species they might have that at least is mammalian, perhaps our arrival won't be seen so shocking if they have something that can relate our biology to.
All right, Stafford, if you can give me an insight science, please. And I believe you have a focus, but let me double check. You have xenobiology. You definitely have a focus. And anthropology, even.
Using a focus, number of dice in pool, complication. All right, let's do this. Fingers crossed, knock on wood.
Hey, one success,
Yes.
one momentum. So, Stafford, they do have something that is 2 legs, 2 arms, and vaguely resembles a conventional humanoid. I'm doing air quotes. The problem is that it's Ewok sized, and the problem is that they have it as a pet.
Oh,
Hmm. I read the information on my pad, and you all just see me kind of grin awkwardly, like, well, they do have something somewhat like us on their planet. But, well, they're pets, sir. And turn the pad around and show it.
I mean that is kind of adorable.
Yes, and truth be told, I kind of want one now.
Well, it just means we have to watch for a bit of unintentional condescension.
Yeah. They may come across with baby voices if we're not careful.
Hmm. Do we have an idea of the overall level of technology?
That is a question for our good engineer, Ebson. Ebson, if you could give me an insight engineering, please. And let me
Okay.
check your focuses. I can give you diagnostics here.
Cool. And with this would be what Jensar has gleaned from the reports and such, I assume.
Correct.
All right, using focus, insight, engineering.
1 success, 1 more momentum. So Ebson, it's a little bit weird. Again, Nix has already said that it's not clear how they got a starship from point A to point B 3 AU out from their planet. But the strangest thing is that as far as long-range sensors are able to determine, the Cariv are at the same level as we are in Earth right now. So they haven't quite cracked fusion quite yet. They don't really have anything but chemical boosters, at least as far as they're able to detect. So it's just a bigger mystery of, okay, these people are in a quote-unquote modern society, but not that modern.
Basically, what I glean is they've got tech, but it doesn't line up. The pieces don't line up right.
Exactly.
It's almost like the reverse of a Pac-Led situation.
good way of putting it, yeah.
Or not even the Packleds. What was the borrowing the splicing species that there was another one that Janeway ran into too.
Oh, the Vidians?
Yeah. Jensen wants to look through a little bit more to see if there's what sort of if there's anything to indicate, like looking for that sort of marker of, is there outside introduced technology to explain some of the mismatches.
I gotcha. Well, since it's been a hot minute, I'll remind you that you can ask said question with a point of threat or a point of momentum.
Let's use the point of momentum. It was earned from a roll doing this, so like the sort of that reading through, it's like, okay, so all right, Commander, and we got Jensar's going to sort of run down the basics, like here's some highlights beyond what Nick said about their tech level, and there's that moment of one moment, and Jensar's going to sort of do that, the little rapid effectively page flip as they look for a couple details to try to confirm. So so that with the momentum, the question is, does there seem to be something in line with that would indicate outside introduced technology or any sort of flags in this technology mismatch that we're looking at?
Got it. So that again is the strangest thing, is that as far as long-range sensors are able to determine, there's no Klingon tech, there's no Romulan tech, there is no outside influence that is existent on that planet.
Commander, so looking through this, there's a lot of strange inconsistencies. Their tech level is both higher and lower than we'd expect. At first pass, it reminded me of the other instances of groups that have borrowed or acquired technology from the Federation or other factions and made their own jumps using that. But honestly, if that's present, it's from a completely outside party we haven't encountered before. There are no recognizable technology signatures from any of the Federation's alliances, conglomerates that we know of.
Just to satisfy my own curiosity here, Commander. What do you know of other methods of FTL travel that don't involve warp?
I think that silence speaks volumes.
There's that moment of Jensar kind of goes, besides what we're using and what the Borg use?
Well, even that's a method of that's warp adjacent, I would say. I'm thinking of methods that involve potentially some form of teleportation, opening of wormholes. Yeah.
Gates.
The
Iconians.
True. Very true.
Wasn't there that one scientist some years ago who was trying to develop a warp wave that would allow a ship to also ride it?
True. I don't believe that technology ever went anywhere, unfortunately.
Just throwing out ideas, because this is very peculiar.
Well, this may be a mystery we just that hopefully we get to solve when we go visit them.
The Cariv are not the first people to populate their planet. They may be using technology from an extinct race.
That is a possibility.
And because I think this is an excellent time to do so, I'm going to spend 2 threat that the bridge contacts you and says, Bridge to Commander Peden, we've got a situation that you're going to want to be on the bridge for.
Understood. Let's dismiss the meeting for the time being. He's going to get up and head out to the bridge.
All right.
Arthur will follow behind.
Is anyone not going to the bridge?
I'm definitely going.
Ebsen?
I think Epsom will go along unless there is. Sorry, the cat just distracted me. I think Epsom will be going along. I'm sorry, my cats are being very adorable, and it was incredibly distracting.
My only request is that you pay a cat tax at some point in the evening. But okay, everybody's going to the bridge. Got it. So when you all come onto the bridge, what you see on the view screen is a crystalline flower. And this flower is about the size of one of Starfleet's runabouts. So in the grand scheme of things, honestly not that much smaller than the Mercury is, because Mercury is really tiny. But there is this crystalline flower that is prismatic in color, and it's just sitting there in space, but there does appear to be some kind of a gaseous leak, like a blue plume coming out that's not quite a thruster, looks like some kind of damage. And the officer on duty, reports, "Sir, I thought you might want to know that this is a Cariv ship, as far as we've been able to determine, and they've been broadcasting a distress call for the last 10 seconds before you came onto the bridge. And the funniest thing, sir, they were there, they weren't there, and then they suddenly were. And I know that doesn't make any sense, sir, but it's like they literally just popped into existence."
Interesting.
We are looking at teleporter tech.
Very possibly, if it's not something else. Let's go
Or
ahead and
something.
respond to the... Oh, go ahead.
Or could be time-based. We've kind of done this to stations we visited.
Perhaps it's some form of quantum entanglement?
Well,
Possible.
there is this theory that ultimately gravity and time are connected. That's how when we've seen that applied before. So if you manipulate gravity enough, you can manipulate time.
Might I suggest that we get all of the ship sensors up and running, scanning anything and everything? This will be a very interesting report.
Yes, let's also respond to the distress call.
All right, and real quick, because somebody pointed out to me, I did get a good and evil redeem, so you guys are up to 2 momentum, but I'm also up to 6 threat. Thank you for reminding me.
Yay.
So, Paden.
Could I do a...
Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, could I do a quick scan to see if there's any sign of a cloak, maybe tetraon particles or something?
Very valid. Ram, that would be a reason and security, and the Mercury will assist you with a sensors security. And let me just check the Mercury real quick. You do not have advanced sensor suites. So again, whoever's doing the Mercury, it's 1 die and always has a focus.
You got it.
I'm thinking security systems would probably apply here as a focus.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay.
Okay. Oh, I didn't say difficulty. We'll say it's a difficulty of 1, so you get 2 more momentum because you got 3 successes. So again, Ram, you do the Starfleet thing. You check for a cloak. No cloak, or if it is a cloak, it's one that you've never seen before.
Interesting. Commander, I just did a quick check to see if there were any tetraon particles or similar in the area. It doesn't seem to have been a cloak.
Well, we know that perfect cloaks exist at this point. But for the
Indeed.
time being, let's focus on rescuing these people.
Them having something along those lines of technology would open up even more questions.
Indeed.
All right, so out of character. This is a very defining moment for Paden's career, I think. Because has Paden done First Contact besides Nyx before?
No.
Okay. So this is Paden's first contact, and it is First Contact. I know that's literally repeating myself, but I just want to impress upon you how important this is. And to represent that, if you'll allow me, I would like Paden to give me a fitness and command here. It is only a difficulty of 1. If you succeed, you can carry on just fine. If you fail, I'm just going to inflict some stress on you. Nothing too much, just a little bit of stress from the situation.
Okay. I'm going to give you a threat for bold.
Okay. And Chad also just gave me two evil redeems, so let's spice it up. Let's give you a little bit of an 18 to 20 complication range.
Okay. So, 3. All right. Would you say that I have a focus?
Let me check. You have diplomacy and emotional intelligence. Both would definitely apply here.
Fantastic.
Unfortunately, you don't have horticulture.
I'll just have to make do.
Okay, you can reroll
Good.
one of those.
Goodness.
You did succeed, but you will have to you can reroll one of the 19s.
No, this is going to go great. I'm going to use the determination.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to
Which
use
value?
the my value.
Lead from the front. Okay.
Yeah. I'll reroll 2 of those die.
Now, surely not.
Let's not jinx it.
Don't call our Captain Shirley.
Okay, well, there you go. 4 successes. It was a difficulty of 1, which means you have 6 momentum and 1 floating here. So if I may suggest, because again, it's been a hot minute, perhaps create a trait that represents Paden's command style.
I want him to be unique. I don't necessarily want to emulate a captain from one of the shows. Right now, I think he does take. He stands up. I think maybe he does adjust his uniform just a bit. And yeah, chin up a little bit. It'll give me some time to think on this, but I definitely think he's trying to come across as intelligent, wise, and reasonable.
Intelligent,
You're
wise,
just
and
a simple Starfleet commander.
I just happen to be a simple Starfleet commander.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but when I went practice, no, I'm not going to get into it. But no, if you really want, I think that is an excellent thing. Simple Starfleet commander, if you want that as a trait.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to put our best foot forward.
I will note I was making a Garrick joke.
So you weren't going for
So
Southern...
consider that if you want that as the trait or not.
Because I'm Cardassian.
Garrick was just a simple tailor.
I went Southern country lawyer is where I went.
Yeah, that's where my head went.
Just consider the flavor so we're all on the same page.
Oh, Lord. But what I'm going to say is that you basically have created a trait that is going to matter moving forward. But let's hear your speech. What is it you say to the distress call? What is your opening line?
I think right now he's going to focus more on the fact that they're distressed.
Okay.
And so he's going to... Yeah. So he's going to call out, unknown vessel. This is the Federation starship Mercury. Maybe provide some assistance.
There's a pause. Starting to get uncomfortable pause. And then you get a transmission back. And when the view screen turns on, unless you want to keep it audio only, question mark.
No, if we're going to put our best foot forward, let's let them see us.
Okay. So the view screen turns on, and what you see is a blue and red flower. So it's a blue and red Cariv. And I think Nyx leans in and whispers, "Sir, that's Satrexia and Neturi. They're grafted to one another. I don't know if the base is Satrexia or the base is Neturi, but just so you know."
Understood.
But the Cariv that is presented to you does the little bee thing where the head twitches a little bit. Proboscis kind of probes the air. And when they speak, before the Universal Translator kicks in, it's literally buzzing noises, but then the Universal Translator kicks in, and they say, "You are alien. We have never encountered aliens before. Why do you look like one of our pets? Do you have pollen? Do you have things that can make us go? Do you have things that can fix our ship?"
Well, to answer your questions, we're here to assist. I'm trying to think of exactly what they said in order. We're here to assist. We're here to provide any assistance we can. We are members of a multi-species government that spans several star systems. And potentially we might have something that would help you with your help provide you with a fuel source.
That would be great. As I told Naturi, I knew I was right. I knew there had to be other species out there, but he did not listen. So that is my hint that this is Citraxi.
Got it. Well, if introductions are in order, I'm Commander Kovat Padin of the U.S.S. Mercury, and if I may have your name, and if your vessel also has a name.
I am Citraxi of the Cariv, Bloom of the Cariv. My vessel does not have a name in the ways that I would be able to communicate via word. It is more of a feeling, perhaps a feeling of joy. Yes, that is a good word for it. My ship is named the Joy.
Very well. We did receive your distress call. How may we provide assistance?
Well, our life support systems are currently undergoing a bit of a, and the head tilts to the side, undergoing a small problem with our phase shift.
He definitely mentally makes a note on the word phase shift.
If Gensar had prehensile ears, they would be perking up.
Arthur doesn't, and his definitely are.
Got a pledication. Huh. Issues with your life support. Very well. Is your trying to think of because out of character, Akon's wondering if is the ship salvageable? Is there anything going on the ship that they need to be removed from it immediately, or can we just assist them with repairs?
Since you have the trait Simple Starfleet Commander, I'm going to give you that answer. The answer is you just need to put a force field over the patch or over the hole in the hull, send someone over to fix it, you're good as gold.
Very well. We do see, we are checking our sensors, that it does seem like the hull of your vessel has been damaged.
Yes,
if possible,
we had an issue with our phase shifting.
Interesting. If possible, we can send someone over to repair the damage, and hopefully we can spend some time getting to know one another, one species to another.
I know the Root would rather take this opportunity, but I am happy as the Bloom to acquiesce to your request. How will you be coming over? Gantry?
If that's preferable, although we do have a method of transporting physical matter from one space to another via
just like
temporary.
Our phase shifting.
Not looking at Epson, but knowing that Epson is like very, very interested. Perhaps, yes. If with permission, we'd like to send a couple people over to help assist you with repairs.
That would be great. Why don't you come yourself? It is just me on the vessel. It will be a little cramped, unless you are as small as my pet back home.
We're a little bit taller.
Very well. Then you are welcome to Joy.
Thank you. I'll be there momentarily.
All right, view screen cuts out.
Well, Epson, ready to get your hands dirty?
Looking forward to it.
All right, grab an engineering kit. Currently,
Arthur is going to go over to Epson and hand them a tricorder. If you can, if you get close to any of that phase shift tech, try and scan it. If it doesn't cause a diplomatic incident, of course.
There's a moment of looking at the tricorder, looking at Ensar's own tricorder and going, I think I got this.
I just want to double check everything.
We'll see what I am very eager to learn what we can discover. This is fascinating. So I got you.
Oh, and Commander, congratulations on a first contact.
Thank you. Let's hope they're all just smooth sailing. Commander Ram, you have the con.
Well, sir.
All right, we head to transporter pad 1.
All right. Now, I could be an asshole and spend threat here, but nah, I don't want to mess with your transporting. So, when you materialize, you basically materialize in what I can best describe as almost like a greenhouse, where you have a carpeted floor made out of greenery, so some form of a grass, but instead of it being green, it's like a blue and a red, so just varying shades of red and blue. No purples, though, strangely. Always distinct red or blue, no merging. And you can actually see outside of the ship. Like, it's one of those one-way mirrors where, reflection on one side, you can see through it on the other. So you see space all around you. In fact, you see the Mercury hanging just outside the ship's transporter range. And you also see Satrexi. And Satrexi is a little bit taller in person than you were expecting. Like the briefing said, the Cariv, 2 meters, maybe get up to 2.5 meters. Satrexi is pushing 3. So, quick conversion, 9 feet tall. None of you are 9 feet tall. Unless you grew when I wasn't looking. But what's important maybe isn't so much Satrexi is the stuff in this greenhouse, in this garden. And what you see is that everything in here seems to be almost like a living ship, like almost like Species 8472, the Undine, but different, where you see what looks to be a stump of a tree, but has been carefully molded to be a seat for Satrexi. You see another sort of branch that comes out of the tree stump that has displays of bioluminescent lights which resemble a console. And you also see that where you would expect an engine, you see contained in some sort of transparent material, a prismatic flower very similar to the shape of the joy itself.
Interesting.
But as you materialize in, Satrexi rises from that seat, walks over to you, looms down at you, but then kind of tilts its head to the side, makes a buzzing noise, and says, "Oh, you are smaller than I thought you would be. Well, welcome to the Joy."
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
I do hope the life support is to your liking. I tried to use my own scanners to modify the environment for your sake as well as mine.
Our transporters didn't give us any warning beaming over, so I think everything's good.
And it's at this moment I'm going to spend a little bit of threat, just two, to say that, I've been making the analogy that this is like a greenhouse. It's taken a few moments for it to kick in, but now you're like, oh man, it is actually kind of hot in here. It is kind of like, ooh, where's that heat coming from?
Oh, finally, it's not so Federation cold in here.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then you're having a great time. Everybody else, not so much. But Satrexi says, well, let me show you the problem with the life support system. And they walk maybe 5 meters to another stump-like implement. And you can see that the bioluminescence is flashing red. So apparently they subscribe to green and red as good and bad because ELH is creatively bankrupt. But you see that it is flashing red very apparently. So lots of reds and lots of oranges. And Trexie says, well, as I said, the phase shift caused a rupture in the hull of the vessel, and I'm hoping you're able to fix it. I have tried to myself, but unfortunately, I do not believe my distress call has reached my homeworld yet.
All right. Ebsen, think we can help?
I would love to see what I can figure out.
Okay. Edson, I am not going to tell you the difficulty of this.
Yeah.
But I will encourage you to spend momentum, spend threat, maybe
yes.
determination. But I got to keep the difficulty secret. But
I'm here for this.
Let me look at your sheet real quick. Let me see what I can give you. Let me see. So, one thing I will tell you is that I almost forgot you were Betazoid. So, Ebsen, you can't read Citrexy.
Cool.
So no telepathy there, unfortunately. And I'm looking at your talents. Just as a reminder, you do have backup plans, if that matters.
Oh, I know.
But I don't think you have any other talents that would help. Let me look at your focuses. You would have diagnostics. You would have experimental technology and guidance systems. So you definitely have a focus here, just not a talent.
Yeah, the talents come up if things go wrong. All right.
You've got
so
5 momentum.
Attributes, is this a control or daring?
Depends. How are you going about it? Are you being blatant in, like, scanning and nerding out? Are you trying to maintain your cool?
I mean, honestly, Gensar is a Betazoid. They are definitely taught to kind of keep their chill. Lexwana aside, generally when you meet Betazoid, they do pretty decent masking, probably because when you're around a bunch of telepaths, you have to learn how to mask. Mm-hmm. But it's a worse role, but I feel like insight or reason is almost where this is going, because I'm looking at a completely alien technology, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if reason can apply. That would be the better one.
No, I like the
reasoning
argument.
through things.
I like the argument. I'll give you reason engineering.
I will take it. All right. So I have a focus. I have reason engineering.
And the question is, how many dice do you go for? Because again, difficulty is secret on this.
Yes. And I can, but if I used one threat and all the momentum, I could roll dice. 5 dice.
Mm-hmm.
If I used a determination, I could automatically succeed on 2.
Correct.
If you want to take my assistance, I have engineering of 3, but my insight and reason aren't great.
That's fair. I do forget how assistant works, but assistance I think probably would make sense because there is that piecing through things. Question: how mechanical is this in appearance? Like, this seems like a very organic engineering layout, right?
So again, I'm trying not to spoil the mystery here, which is why I'm being vague.
I mean, I'm already filling in from a couple references, so it basically does this. I'm trying to figure out if sometimes you have to make your own solution versus machines are easier to read than people.
Oh, I see where you're coming from.
Because if it's very organic, machines are easier to read than people doesn't make sense.
Right.
But it very much falls into, we are literally in a situation where we are making our own solution.
I like the making your own solution angle.
Let's do it. Maybe I'm going for overkill, but I feel like when there's a secret difficulty, it's worth it. Let me just make a quick note of this.
Oh, perhaps I could assist by talking to, or speaking with it. Was Citrexy or
Citrexy?
Mercury. Yeah, Citrexy. Perhaps I could speak with the Citrexy and ask, explain our technology a little bit, how we utilize a variety of minerals, ceramics, and plastics.
Yeah.
And ask whether or not how that's going to be effectively merged with theirs.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. But then you can assist with a presence command.
Very well. Let's see. I don't know if did I keep the talents that cold reading, bold, regimented mind.
You didn't keep advisor, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I didn't grab advisor. Okay, well, no big deal. Do we have focus?
I believe you do.
Fantastic.
No help, unfortunately.
No. Yeah.
So just to be clear, Ebsen, are you spending the 1 threat 5 momentum?
You know what? Go big or go home. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel everyone's cool with me doing this. And I'm using the determination, so
Mm-hmm.
clicking that off because I can't earn. The easiest way to earn determination is to use it.
Yep. 7
Whew.
successes. Actually, one more than you needed, so you actually get a momentum back.
Oh.
Now, here's why it is so difficult. Is because Ebsen, when you scan the technology, the first thing that happens is your tricorder goes dead. And I don't mean in a, oh, the power died, or oh, something broke in the tricorder. I mean you are locked out of your tricorder. So you do it's come natural to you. You reboot, you scan again, locked out again. At this point, Ebsen, you're thinking, all right, something's going on here. Why is my tricorder shutting down? So you start to investigate. And what you find is that there is a Starfleet intelligence lockout on your tricorder whenever you scan anything in this vessel.
Oh no.
One that's awesome, but I would like to insert the comedic note of there's the scan, locks out, reboot, scan, locks out, pulls out the other tricorder that Gensar was given to take scans just to double check, because you do need to check 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And see that happens again and goes, okay, this is not this device.
Now, out of character, because I want to reward your success, have you watched Discovery?
I haven't finished season 1 yet.
But you're familiar with the spore drive.
Yes.
This is a spore drive. So out of character, this is a spore drive. In character, you're being stonewalled by Starfleet security.
Yes, because that is very that's very locked down.
Mm-hmm.
Do they know they're being stonewalled?
Well, that was part of what Gensar discovered in the with the tricorder breaking down or locking out.
Yes.
So I see so like as ELH mentioned, there's essentially the comment in chat is that I got the red ring of death. Is so it's the troubleshooting process. Okay, the first thing you always do when you troubleshoot is you turn it off and you turn it back on again. It fixes so many things. Problem happens again. It so happens one of you all gave Gensar a second tricorder to take scans. We've got a second device. Let's see if it happens again. It does. Okay, now's the time we're going to look into the code, because this is clearly not a device specific nor a unique occurrence. And that leads Gensar into looking basically at the error report that's coming up in the tricorder, basically a quick debug mode, and goes, huh.
And to help with that analogy, what I would say is, again, out of character, I'm telling you it's spore drive, but in character, what you get in the error log is that it is Starfleet intelligence. This device has been locked down. Classified propulsion technology.
Excellent. Okay, and that's why it took me so long to come up with sorry, because there was lots of successes. That was to figure out to come up with a solution.
Yes. So,
all right.
Good news. You can fix the atmospheric problem. You can fix life support. That much your tricorder handled. It's when you scan the rest of the ship that it got locked down.
Awesome. Sorry, I'm taking notes.
Entirely fair.
How dare you take notes in a game that involves note-taking? How dare you?
I would like to comment that the personal log sheet is entirely inadequate for the notes I take for game. Even very light ones. All right, so there's going to be that little Gensar's going to make a note of the super secret tech that Starfleet doesn't want me to know, and that's going to be a conversation with the commander when we're not right in front of our new friends.
Speaking of new friends, Satrexi is telling Peden about her pet. And Satrexi says, well, he's a little smaller than you, and he's a lot more fluffy, and he does this adorable thing where if you hold a bit of food over his head, he starts to beg for it.
I completely understand what you mean.
I'm sorry, I'm just excited to be here at the moment, but do you have pets in your culture?
We do, actually. He's going to pull out his tricorder. I actually, when I was at Starfleet Academy, that's the place where we train our officers, I actually had a pet cat. And he'll pull the images he has on his tricorder.
A cot, you say?
Yes. It's a domesticated feline. I don't know if you have an equivalent on your home planet.
No, we have nothing like this. Its coloration is very pleasing.
Yes, and it makes a very pleasing noise, too.
Do you have a sample of this noise?
I'm gonna start playing a purring noise from the tricorder, from a recording.
Peden, have you watched The Princess Diary before? Or is it The Princess Bride? I never remember. Where they say, haha, you fell into the classic blunder.
Princess Bride.
Yeah. I need you to make a roll for me, buddy.
Okay.
I need you to make me a presence command difficulty of 2. You have a focus.
Yep, you're gonna get another threat.
Okay. You're gonna want to
That's
re-roll
why.
that 20.
That's why you got that. Yeah. Yes, I do. I knew it was gonna happen. I could feel it.
Okay, so you actually get a momentum back. So the good news, Padan, when you play the sound, you don't create a mimetic effect where all the Cariv begin purring. Thank the Lord. But they listen to the sound, the purring of a cat, and they mimic it a little bit, and they say, that is a novel sound. I could see how it would be pleasing.
Yes, and they're also quite affectionate.
Oh, I love affectionate pets. They bring spice to life.
Yes, exactly. It's a shame I couldn't take this one with me on our mission, but it would not have been a good environment. They wouldn't have had enough room to exercise, and have a what's the thing with pets again? It's been a long time since I've had a cat. We need a lot of space to kind of for mental health.
No, I understand what you mean. It's,
No, I was out of character. I was AdCon talking.
Oh, okay. We'll play it off in character. Like, you communicate that in character somehow.
Yes.
And I think Satrexi says, "Oh no, I understand. The reason I didn't bring my pet with me, as much as I am attached to them, is I didn't want anything to go wrong and them to be stuck out here away from home. No, so I completely get it."
Yes, exactly.
And it's at this point that Satrexi looks over to Ebsen and says, are they supposed to be doing that? As, Ebsen is, messing with the tricorder.
Everything going all right, Epson?
Going fine, just running an internal diagnostic to better calibrate to the unfamiliar system.
That makes sense. Yeah, turning to Satrexi. We utilize entirely different technological evolution, so they're just probably making adjustments in order to account for your rather beautiful, but certainly new to us technology.
Oh, well, yes, I did scan your vessel. You use metal. We don't really use metal, but we are aware of it.
Certainly. It's also worth noting, we actually utilize an entirely different form of propulsion for traveling faster than light than you do, it seems.
Oh? How do you travel amongst the stars?
He's going to explain warp subspace and warp theory.
Okay.
Yeah, we eat ourselves.
So, I'm debating whether to make this a roll for Ebsen. Yeah, let's make it a roll for Ebsen while you're talking up warp theory, just to try and get you guys more momentum. Ebsen, really simple, control engineering, difficulty of 1. I believe in you.
Okay.
I would like to assist in this one.
Sure, you may assist with another presence command.
Oh, I was going to use engineering.
If you want to use engineering, go for it.
Yeah, I got a 3 in engineering.
All
I know
right.
enough to explain.
Does a focus come into play?
It does, for both of you.
Fantastic. Never mind. I guess I'm rolling gangbusters.
Wow, that's like your like 6th or 7th, like 19 or 18 and above.
This never happens when I play Pathfinder.
Hey, you know what? You got your 1 success. That's all that matters. So, as you know, Paden, as you are trying to chip in with engineering knowledge, but Satrexi keeps leading you off onto random tangents.
Keep talking about cats.
Yeah, you start talking about cats, and once you start talking about cats, the game's over. So, Ebsen, during that time, you fix the life support. The leak is fixed. The life support is stable. And then your tricorder locks out again because it's funny.
That works. But I got the repairs done.
Yes.
I just basically couldn't. It's not letting me get any extra data.
Yep.
If I understand it right.
You do.
So, basically, we'll get that going. There's going to be Gensar's going to set it to reboot, and would it be fair to say that Gensar probably has like a little notebook, or
I'd say with an engineering toolkit, you can have any number of items that you would need.
yeah, it's one of those little like small, like they're literally designed. If I was wearing a button-up shirt, it would fit in there. It's a little small notebook, and there's going to be the like really quick jot of like most immediately important things Gensar wants to remember. It's not going to be full data, but it's going to be like, okay, so this lockout happened. Here's the immediate things I'm remembering about this really fascinating, very biologic-based system. And again, very bare notes, because you can't fit much in those. But it's just that quick, like, bullet points of maybe it will jog a memory if I look at it again in the future, at a future plant-based ship. And sort of like do that, tidy up, and come over to the... so I get the name.
Satraxi.
Come over to Satraxi and Commander Padan, and it appears that the life support and propulsion repairs are in place, and I believe they are holding. If you'd like to run a systems check.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, I'm just so fascinated by the concept of this cat. If our 2 species, and you look to be different species now that I look at you, how did I miss that? I'm so excited. By first contact, I missed that entirely.
We are different species.
Parallel evolution. Similar niches in different biospheres shaped us.
Huh. Well, that is very novel. I mean, we have plants on our world that, we take from the alpine and graft onto the desert just to see what we can do and bring, agrarian society to the wastes, kind of a thing. But no, let me do those systems checks. And Satrexi walks over on their 3 legs to the command stump, as I'm going to call it. And they tap on the screen, and they go, yes, everything is working fine. Thank you so much.
Very well. We should probably discuss here. We were actually on our way to your home system.
Now, if they had eyebrows, they would be raised, but instead their little antenna just kind of do the Jeffrey Combs Andorian if you get what I mean. But they say, oh, for what purpose?
Well, we were going to introduce ourselves to your culture.
Oh. Wow.
Part of our mandate as Starfleet. You might consider us an interstellar navy to the government known as the Federation, is that we seek out new life and new civilizations to introduce ourselves and ideally make friends.
Well, this is definitely above my pay grade. I am just a lowly bloom. I can, when I get back home, I can talk to the root for you.
I'd be most appreciative.
Okay. I don't know if this sounds rude or not in your culture, but thank you. And there's a lot of hesitance on the word thank you. And even like universal translator wise, it takes a moment for the thank you to come across. Like the translator's trying to figure out what it is Satrexi is saying.
Perhaps it's we who should be thanking you for the opportunity.
Oh, okay. And then they just sort of stare at you.
But it sounds like, turns it up, but it sounds like everything's patched.
It appears that the issues that we came over to help with are patched. This is a alien enough to me system that I can only assume that everything is in working order. And everything appears to be operational based on the scans they've reported to me. So I think the ship is in ship shape.
Very well. In that case, with permission, we'd like to take our leave back to our own ship.
I've been interested to see how you leave. I mean, you sort of just materialized, but I'm interested to see it as you disappear again.
I suspect we might be a little bit slower than your method of propulsion.
And then they just sort of tilt their head like a bee and buzz.
All right. Well, feel free to take as many scans as you'd like. He's going to tap his badge. Mercury, yeah. Landing away team to Mercury. He's going to say, to beam up.
All right. You beam away. Now, one thing I'm going to say is that Satrexi does not immediately leave. They seem to just be scanning your vessel 6 ways to Sunday, is how I'll put it. So, Ram, you're very aware that there are some scans going up and down the classified nature of the Mercury. But I did want to give you the opportunity to discuss as a group what just happened before Satrexi poofs away.
I think when we get on the transporter pad, he's going to turn to Ebson. So what happened?
This is when we're back on our ship?
Correct.
Yeah.
The short version, sir, is that the tricorders have a security lockout preventing full data scans of their technology.
That's very interesting. Missy?
Something about their propulsion system is known enough for there to be a specific recognition and block by Starfleet security.
Which means that we've encountered something like this before. Let's head to the bridge. Sounds like we'll need to discuss this, and I'm probably going to need to get a hold of Starfleet Command.
We can just start a bingo sheet with the different departments that are going to start looking at us askew at this rate.
All right. I've got Starfleet Intelligence. But then I put that on my bingo sheet.
We know temporal affairs. We got Starfleet security. It's just we'll probably find a few new ones along the way at this rate.
Certainly the Corps of Engineers.
Look, they gave us this ship to see what it can do. They're getting what they asked for. The Corps of Engineers has just said that we're doing it, not them.
I think we hit the bridge.
All right. Ram, as the captain walks onto the bridge, I'm happy to report that the 16th scan of the Mercury has occurred.
Is there a way to block these, perhaps? Or at least redirect them to less sensitive systems?
Well, you've got a few options. You could raise shields. That's no roll required. You just raise shields.
Though can't be seen as a threat.
Yeah. Or what you could do is you could attempt a daring insecurity at a difficulty of 2 to kind of play cat and mouse with their sensors. And I suppose the Mercury can assist you with, we'll say, sensor security.
Okay. I would say security systems probably plays in there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Security and daring, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
Should I still roll for the ship, or would someone else like to roll?
I mean, surely you're not going to roll another 18, 19, or 20. I mean, surely.
It can't possibly happen.
Well, certainly going to now. All right, let's see. Central security. Let's do this.
See, you're fine. There's one.
Normal complication range, right?
Yep, 20 complication. There you go. Excellent. That is 4 successes. You get 2 momentum back. So, Ram, to slightly retcon, as the captain comes back onto the bridge, your fingers are dancing over the console. Once again, just redirecting and nudging the sensors of the Cariv vessel to places that aren't so classified.
Hello, Commander. Our new friends seem very curious.
Certainly. I suggested that it take scans of our ship.
I'm attempting to ensure that they're not scanning into anything too sensitive.
Stafford, send a message to their ship. Just let them know that, unfortunately, due to circumstances, our propulsion system does have to remain classified for the time being.
Aye, Captain.
Yeah. But we certainly welcome them to scan certainly any other area of the ship they would like.
Did we find any answers as far as this mystery propulsion of theirs?
More questions, actually. And on that note, yeah, this is still highly classified. Actually, I'd like the 3 of you to come with me to the ready room. Nix as well.
Nyx, like, just sort of sits up from her yeah, yes, sir.
I'm going to give some instructions to one of my guys to continue the work that I'm doing as far as redirecting.
Aye, sir. I will hit the buttons in sequence. And then we shift to the conference room.
I was going to say the ready room.
Oh, ready room works too. Sorry. You shift to the ready room.
Yeah.
Slightly more cramped than the conference room.
Just a bit. And he's going to turn to Commander Epson. What was the error code that you received on your tricorder?
Yes. So, first off, so I should pull out and return the loaned tricorder. So when we went over there, I got to see some really fantastic and intriguing technology. The ship is, for all that is crystalline on the outside, is incredibly organic on the inside. But that's extra knowledge or extra details. When I started doing a system scan, I expected inconclusive and piecemeal results due to the alien nature of the technology. But instead, I came up with something else, and I verified this across both devices and with a system restart, just to be sure. But there is a Starfleet intelligence security lockout regarding any scans of their propulsion tech.
Well,
Interesting.
I wonder if Starfleet intelligence has made contact with this species before us.
Perhaps they have, but either way, there is something, or perhaps they haven't, but there is something in that technology that is at least recognizable as classified technology that someone in the Federation has been working with. I don't know if this is classified because it's too new or because it's dangerous or something else. But that's definitely something I have not come across before on a routine mission.
Arthur is going to start up the tricorder that he passed along and see if he couldn't, like, see if any scan was made, but, well, that's saddening.
This is where I have a question for the GM.
Yes.
As the commanding officer of an exploratory starship from Starfleet,
Mm-hmm.
do I have captain level command codes to access classified material?
Oh, you certainly do.
Okay. Then he's going to take the error code from Epson, and he's going to input it into the computer console he has on his desk. And undoubtedly, when he gets the error code himself, he's going to input in his command level access codes.
Okay. Now, since you have 4 momentum and 6 threat, I'm going to offer you a deal, and you don't have to take it. You can simply succeed here, but Starfleet intelligence will know you've accessed this. Or, if you would like to attempt a task instead, you can prevent Starfleet intelligence knowing you access this file. Up to you.
We're not technically doing anything wrong. I'm opening this up to the group as a discussion.
I, for one, would be incredibly interested to know. At the same time, do we really want Starfleet to know right offhand about this? Perhaps we could file a report before we try and access these files.
I'm going to ask: Is the severity of this classification at the same level as the Omega Protocol?
That I can't answer until you input your command code.
In that case, yeah, perhaps being a bit surreptitious might be better.
Okay. In that case, Commander Peden, I need you to give me a daring and a command. I'm once again looking at your talents here. Cold reading's going to be great when you get to the planet, maybe. Because, yeah, your cold reading and regimented mind are going to play off real well, assuming you still go to the planet. We don't know at this point. Obviously, you have bolt command. Crisis management is if you're directing someone else, and decisive leadership is if there's a conflict. All right. So, I would say, unironically, hazard awareness counts as a focus here. I am going to set the difficulty at a 4, though. No, it is that classified. Difficulty 5. But I'm going to throw you a bone. The Mercury can assist you with computers and command.
Well, in that case, who would like to roll for the Mercury?
I could do it.
Go for it.
So computers. Oops, I have to
command.
get the right profile up. Sorry. Computers, you said?
Computers, command.
And command?
Mm-hmm. And Chad, I'm just going to take that 2 threat rather than cause a complication here.
It's the focus box was checked off. Is that supposed to be?
Yep,
I don't
because
think
it's a ship.
Okay, perfect.
Oof, no help from the Mercury.
Okay. If we're doing this a bit surreptitiously, okay, who here is the best hacker? I think that's... Oh, go ahead.
No, I bit back on the urge to be a little too what's the word? Pedantic, because there's different types of hacking. I assume you mean computer, because I can jury rig a system like nothing.
Yeah, I do mean basically software at this point.
Best I can do is make a really good holodeck program.
Well, let me look at people's character sheets.
You do have a high science.
You know
But
what?
I feel like this would also fall under high security as well.
Exactly my thinking. RAM could
agreed.
assist you with a daring security with a focus in infiltration and security systems. And Starfleet Protocol, even. You've got a bunch.
In that case, yeah. You want to help me out, Ram?
I'll certainly try.
So I think that's a momentum for an extra assist.
Correct. You'd be at 3 momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Does being cautious, being cautious and surreptitious as a Cardassian give an advantage?
So there's a plot reason for it, but Paden's actually been leaning away from his Cardassian heritage.
No, I know. I'm sorry. I was being goofy.
Oh no, it's fine. All right, waiting on that assist roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 1 die on the assist ram. Again, it is a daring and security for you with a focus.
Sure. Okay, my warm welcome. I think there's no increase in complication ranges there.
No.
Okay, because that would nullify that if there was, but... Alright.
You know what? Let's have you have a cool moment. I'll get rid of that 2 threat, and look at that. Your warm welcome nullifies the 2 threat. Congratulations. Hey, you got
Very
2
nice.
successes. So I need to see 3 more from Paden.
I'm gonna spend 1 threat and 2 momentum to get 2 extra die.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna need that bold. And I don't think I have a focus for this.
Let me check.
Oh, you said hazard awareness, right?
Hazard awareness does apply.
Okay. Let's see what happens.
You get the 3 successes you need. Well done.
I'm gonna sit on that rather than try to push for more.
Well, okay. All right. If you want to.
Well, my luck today hasn't been the best.
This is true. This is
Yeah.
true. All right. So here's what this all comes down to. Ram, Paden working together as Epson and Stafford look on. You manage to input the command code in a way that does not send out an immediate beacon. Because usually when you activate an Omega particle kind of a thing, it sends out a beacon that disables everything. Ram and Paden, you think of something like that. Like you maybe don't know of the Omega protocol, but you think, okay, if this is classified enough, it's going to lock down everything, so let's prevent that. So you think ahead. And sure enough, you do get a warning when you input the code, when you input the error code, and you say, okay, here's my command code. The screen goes dark, then the screen comes back on, and listed is a directive from Starfleet. And right now, Ram and Paden are the only ones that can see this, but you can, of course, tell the others. But here's what the directive says. If this technology is found in an alien species, your directive is to ensure that that species does not make contact with the rest of the galaxy.
Whoops. Yeah, he's going to put that on like the big computer screen behind him, like behind his desk.
Does that say what I think it says?
It does.
It's not ideal for a first contact.
No, it is not.
No, it is not.
Does it give us any details on the classified propulsion system itself?
If you give me a momentum, I will say yes.
I think the other thing for obtaining information.
Yeah, that's right. You do. Let me look. What is it? Cold reading.
Oh, it's to reduce a task later in the same scene. Cold
yes.
readings for like individuals. Yeah.
Right. Gotta remember.
I want to know. Yeah. How about we give a threat?
Okay, I'll take a threat.
Yeah.
All right. So again, I'm not going to go into the whole spiel about Spore Drive, but now in character, you all know about Spore Drive. Congratulations. And you got a momentum from chat. Well done.
Woo.
Yay, thank you, chat.
And just going to look at this and we had this technology the entire time?
I wonder why this was so heavily classified. Being able to transport basically anywhere.
We had this during the First War with the Klingons. That's over 200 years ago.
I do not remember reading this in the history books.
I don't even know what this ship was. An old Crossfield class?
Weren't most of those, like, decommissioned, like, pretty much right after the Klingon War?
Yeah. Inferior variants of the old Constitution, but...
This is...
Epson, what do you make of this?
So this is where I admit I don't have the ability to technobabble or to pull off things about this ship. I would say that since this is the first time Gensar is coming across the specific data, they're digging up sort of what they can about that specific class of ship. And I assume since the spore drive was on, it was specifically an experimental ship.
Mm-hmm.
There's that moment where they're looking through all of the documents and being like, there's nothing about this in this. There's nothing about this ship is classified. As they're trying to do they come across any sort of like weird tag end that indicates that sort of that dangling end that kind of goes, oh, hey, might be something over here.
I would say because you have succeeded so well, because you spent the threat to ask the question, and because I just want to be nice because it's been a hot minute since we've played, you do learn the name of the ship U.S.S. Discovery. Now, in character, you don't know how important that is. Out of character, that's a huge deal.
Yeah, like what we know is that this was an experimental ship. It did have a couple people of, some people we've heard about. But then we know that, as far as we know, the ship was lost.
Correct.
Oh,
Does it say why it was classified?
It does, and Chad actually beat me to the punch where the official records, quote unquote, is because travel through this network harms life in the galaxy. That's the official report. Now, if you want to dig deeper than the official report, you can either do a roll or spend another momentum or threat.
I want to dig deeper. How about everybody else?
yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Momentum or threat?
We've got momentum, so let's use some of that. Unless we want to get... Look, I mean, we're probably about to walk into a lot of threat very shortly.
Let's go ahead and use up some momentum, yeah.
Yeah, let's go with it.
Okay.
One momentum.
If you want to use a mix, depends on how much we want it.
What do you think, Ram? Momentum or threat?
Well, we only have one momentum to work right now. I'd say let's do threat.
Oh, you had two. I just automatically took off the momentum.
Okay. Oh, then in that case, momentum for sure, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So, again, I'm not going to technobabble the entire Memory Alpha article at you, but the actual answer, at least in the ELH universe, I know in canon it's probably different, but in the ELH universe, the reason why spore drive technology was quote-unquote cut off and classified is because somebody in Starfleet intelligence, somebody in the chain of command, decided that it wasn't worth the risk of Klingons, Romulans, anyone else getting their hands on it. And that the more vessels that had spore technology that were out there, the more of a chance that somebody could quite literally spore drive dump for lack of a better term, a nuke into Earth, and there would be no way to stop it.
That makes perfect sense. And that means we're not dealing with anything related to control, I'm guessing.
Correct. Yeah, I don't trust me, I don't like control. Control isn't a thing in my universe, not a thing.
That's fair. And yeah, looking at that reasoning.
Well, this is both highly enlightening, more than a little scary, and there's that directive that says we have to prevent this technology from spreading across the universe, basically.
That's entirely unfair.
Yes.
I understand why. Imagine if the Borg managed to get their hands on this kind of technology.
True. Do we contact Starfleet about this?
I think at this point I have to. But we can contact Starfleet a little bit later, I think.
Perhaps someone were to accidentally send some reports over to our new friends in their ship called Joy about new alternative warp technology they could possibly attempt to harness.
No, I don't want to make it an accident. I do think we should speak with their leader. But fish contact's already been initiated. We don't want to immediately change their culture without giving them a good reason why.
I'm
That's
going to
essentially
spend.
what we're doing here is potentially breaking the Prime Directive, which, of course, listed in these directives, the Prime Directive is technically lifted.
And because I want to
I
make things
also don't-
difficult on you real quick, I am going to spend a threat to say that Nix looks out the window of the ready room and says, sirs, you probably want to see this. So
Can I go take a look?
you all look
Yeah,
out of the window, and Joy, the starship, is spinning very rapidly, and then, whoop, out of reality.
I wonder why it needs to spin like that.
All right.
Based on the information that we've gathered from this, is there any way to try and track where it's gone?
You know what? That's a good question.
I think the sport drive was well by the season 2. I want to say of Discovery. I think it was untrackable. I know by the 31st century they know how to do it.
Right. Again, I'm just trying to debate because ELH universe, this could matter. I'm going to say that you can't track the specific exit of Spore Drive, like you can't tell where they came out. But if they're close enough, like say a few light years away, your long range sensors could detect the appearance of a new ship, if you see what I'm saying.
And we have pretty long range sensors.
Oh, yeah, you're a transwarp ship. You have to.
Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
We know roughly where their planet is, so we can at least check their home system, right?
Exactly. All right,
Okay.
I'm going to open this up to the floor because this could be Stafford or Ram or Ebson or maybe Paden. Again, open to the floor. But I'm envisioning either a reason science or a reason security, and the Mercury assists with a sensors and security. And I'm just seeing if you have any focuses on the ship that help. No, it doesn't look like it.
I would yield the floor to anyone else who would like to try.
Thanks. I would yield it to Stafford on that one.
Yeah.
Epson, you want in on this?
If it helps, the difficulty is only a 2.
All right. I guess Stafford stepping up to the plate.
Okay.
All right. What was the attribute and discipline again?
For you, reason science.
Okay. And for the ship?
The ship is sensor science.
I don't
Okay.
I don't think I have a good focus for this, so I'm just gonna roll.
Okay.
All right.
Well, there's a complication. But let's see
But
the
a
ship.
success.
Okay, so I'm going to take 2 threat for that. I'm not going to cause a complication, but I will take the 2 threat. So, yes, Stafford, you quickly run a long-range scan. You can confirm that Joy has returned to the Cariv homeworld. Boy, that was a sentence I didn't expect to say.
All right. Commander, we have them on long-range sensors. They are at their homeworld again.
That's logical. All right, let's set a course to the homeworld traditional warp. Actually, is it far enough away that we should use the transwarp, or can we use traditional warp?
Nix looks over to you and says, well, Captain, if you want to be there in a minute, we can transwarp, or if you want to be there in 3 hours, we can take regular.
Let's take regular. Let's get them some time to process this information.
Very good, sir.
Especially if their scanning technologies we don't know the level of their scanning technologies, and we know they are particularly interested in us. Standard travel might be in our favor.
Yeah.
Approach friendly. Got it.
Set a course. Warp 6.
All right. Now, I have one quick question for Peden. Are you delaying your contact with Starfleet Command for after you meet the route and meet the actual Cariv people, or is this the moment where you kick everyone out of your ready room and have that conversation?
I think Paden's mostly by the book. So I think this is now the time where he contacts Starfleet Command.
Okay. So, does everybody leave is the question.
I think on this matter, technically, they have. Like, he can have this conversation in the ready room.
Okay.
Yeah. If everyone else can hang out on the bridge.
Right.
They all filter out. You're left in your ready room.
Yep. All right. He contacts Starfleet Command and gives the error code that he received.
All right. So because I find it funny, the first time you give the error code, you get, some poor ensign, probably his second day out of the academy, and he goes, well, sir, I can't confirm that. I don't have the clearance for that. Let me escalate. And you escalate. You get a lieutenant commander. Lieutenant commander looks at it and goes, well, that's a new one. I haven't seen that before. Let me escalate. And after about the 3rd or 4th escalation, you finally get an admiral. And let's give this admiral a name, because I think it's important. Let me see. Let me look at my list of NPCs here. Let me see. No, I've already used that admiral. Can't use him. Let's say that this admiral is Svev. Svev? No, I don't like Svev. Svev is not a good name. Let's use... Do I have a Ren? I feel like I've had a Ren before. You know what? We're going to go with a Ren. W-R-E-N. Admiral Ren.
Okay.
And they are, according to my notes, they're Betazoid, if it matters to you. But Admiral Ren looks at you, Commander Peden, and says, son, where did you come across this error code? Because this isn't something you just find out in the wild.
Ironically, we found this out in the wild, sir.
Okay.
This came up during our scans when we were assisting a vessel in distress and also making first contact.
He looks over off screen, looks back. Ah, yes, you were going to contact the Cariv, first contact even.
Yes, indeed.
Well,
we encountered one of the vessels in distress. We provided assistance, and during that time, when we took small scans of the propulsion system, this error code came up.
I see. Have you input your command codes to get around the error?
Yes, I have, sir.
I see. Then you know about the directive that this technology cannot leave that Cariv planet.
I understand that is the standard directive, sir.
Then I trust that your mission is clear.
I understand that as a standard procedure, sir. I believe in this case, with first contact already being made, perhaps an alternative can be discussed.
Well, the good news is that even though I am an admiral and you're only a commander, the Mercury has been given command authority on this first contact mission. You may proceed at your discretion, Commander, but do be careful. We don't want this technology getting out.
I understand, sir.
I expect a report from you in 6 hours.
Very good, sir.
And then he does the Admiral, doesn't even say goodbye, just shuts the channel.
Mm-hmm. And then just takes a long exhale because he was holding his breath.
Mm-hmm.
And then he heads back out onto the bridge.
All right. And that is where we're going to make this a two-parter, because I think that's an excellent moment to pause the story from where it's at.
Next time on Star Trek Mercury.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, what'd you guys think? I thought that for our first time back after a month, that went very well.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it was fun.
Yeah. Very much.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to the first two-parter we're having here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering how we're going to convince this species to change their entire culture because of outsiders. I'm sure that's going to go well.
Hey, it would be great for us if...
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it's going to be interesting for sure.
I mean, I did warn you that I did have combat encounters planned, but we'll find out together if we actually have to use them.
Oh, Jockey, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I was going to say, usually in episodes, things like this are solved through sabotage, because I feel like genocide is against a Starfleet directive, and that's where Section 31 usually comes up.
Mm-hmm. And we don't do Section 31 in my games. Nope.
Thank you.
Oh no, I am not cheering Section 31. My brain was going, if they're telling us that the only solution is to kill an entire species, perhaps they want a different group.
That's not going to happen here.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, this is going to be... thank you, but also,
Yeah, I honestly suspect that the spore technology is somewhat intrinsic. Like, either this is going to be a sabotage mission, which again, there's been a lot of Star Trek episodes where that's sort of what happens, or it's going to be something so intrinsic to the species that no, this can't be destroyed, and Starfleet, if this happens in one species, it could happen in another. This directive is untenable.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's a lot of different ways this can go.
We either have to convince Starfleet to let it go, or we have to convince these people with that, outsiders coming into them, that this is the best method for their advancement in galactic society is to switch propulsion systems, which they're not going to like.
I mean, I suppose we could say that, hey, you having this propulsion system will start literally multiple intergalactic wars of species coming after you, might help. But
yeah,
that's a 2 week from now program, next week from now problem. I don't know.
We're hoping.
Yeah, just that they don't have a good reason to believe us.
Hey, transwarp is almost as fast.
Almost.
Which we can't share.
The word almost doing a lot of work in that sentence, but...
So I don't know why I got this image, but it's literally just like you're in the hall where the root is, right? It's this big opulent facility. You beam in, and it's just Padan and Nix, and you just point at Nix and say, "Congratulations, I'm giving you transwarp technology. Nix, take it away."
I mean, it's either gonna be that, or we give them like plans for quantum slipstream.
You know what? Also valid.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Twitch, stick around because we're going to raid somebody, but YouTube, we'll see you later. Bye-bye, YouTube.